The following takes place between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m.
April 24th, 2009. It is 8:04 in Toronto and across the world at www.animalhouseradio.com. Show is brought to you in part by Hill's Pet Nutrition, the makers of Science Diet and Prescription Diet Pet Food, and www.ismydogoverweight.ca. This week we have a special guest in studio. It's not Dr. Mike, as he's somewhere. He's at his brother's wedding. And I'm just going to fix this over here for our special guest. Oh, there you go. It's just perfect. Every single week you hear her on the show. You go home and you think about what she says. Yes, and she laughs. It's going to be one of those crazy nights. Ladies and gentlemen, from Toronto Animal Services, we got to put that mic towards your face and your mouth. There you go. From Toronto Animal Services, the one, the only, Nicola.
Hello, darling.
How are you?
I'm well.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you look great. You know, this is the first time we've actually met.
I know.
You're a lot taller than I thought you'd be.
I'm 5'3".
And I thought you, well, that's...
What do you think I was, like 3 feet tall?
Well, Deborah's like 4'9". Yeah, you got to go closer to that. There you go. Okay.
I have to really kind of make out with the mic.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
Excellent. Most action I've had never.
Okay.
But I'm sitting beside you, Aaron. I have to be fabulous.
Of course. I am the Jewish version of Antonio Banderas.
Oh.
I know. I'm that good. Really, really I am.
My heart is aflutter.
I know.
As I sit here.
You know, and it's funny because Deb's in the background over there, and I better not get one of those breakup emails that...
that you sent a couple of years ago?
Yeah, that was, you know, I can't really talk about that. I've been instructed to never talk about that ever again.
Fair enough.
But we have a great show for you tonight. We have a big guest, actually, someone who's on A&E and some other channels. I can't pronounce the name of the show, but you can tell me the name of the show.
There are a lot of big words in the title. At the end of my leash.
At the end of my leash. Okay. The end of my leash, and the gentleman's name is Brad Pattison.
That is correct.
He is going to be on the show, and he's the host of the show. And when I said earlier on, and I told Joe and some other people, they're like, "Oh, he's so mean, but so good." So it's going to be really interesting to hear some of the stories that he has to say tonight. Tonight's topic and debate is going to be Toronto and animals, so anything to do with the city of Toronto. And if you're dealing with animals, any issue that you've had, the perfect person to have on the show right now, Nicola. You call the program 416-785-0680. or info@animalhouseradio.com. Get all your information out. We're going to be telling a lot of tales tonight. Tonight's going to be like a bedtime story, but we don't want you to go to bed after this. We want you to go out, get Prescription Hill's Pet Food, and go to www.ismydogoverweight.ca. That's what we want you to do. But first and foremost...
Wow, infotainment.
In the news this week... I'm going to mention a couple of things. First of all, dog saved from abuse. This is a good story. As they say in the story, they could smell the urine and feces from outside before they even found the dogs inside the shed. Animal cruelty investigators with the Toronto Humane Service, Humanity, well, it should be a little bit in there, and Toronto Animal Services, that's your side there, were sickened to discover a West End shed filled with more than 70 birds, 4 dogs, and 2 puppies living in absolute filth. When officers found a light, they could barely even believe what the dungeon-like conditions were. Cobwebs as thick as fishing nets. I mean, this is absolutely disgusting. The owner of the animals, a 40-something-year-old man. I don't even want to. I can say his name. I don't even want to say the name. His house has been slapped with multiple charges. Investigators have been there more than once, several occasions over the past couple of years. This is going right now. Basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to slap some law onto him, and the new law that was imposed in the government of Ontario, and some more stuff over here. He's looking at right now 2 years in prison, 2 years in prison, and a maximum of $60,000 in fines. Now, once again, I'm going to ask you a question. City of Toronto, people who shoot somebody, kill somebody, they get off scot-free all the time. They're walking the streets right now. Convicted murderers, people that are charged with murder, walking the street right now. Do you really think someone is going to put someone in prison or charge or give them a fine of $60,000 for cruelty to animals? If we in this city, in this province, don't even care that we have criminals walking the street who are convicted of rape, pedophilia, murder, and they're walking the streets free, do you think anybody really cares about somebody who's cruel to animals? Because obviously in this province we don't give a damn. And you know what? I sat down with the Premier of Ontario, and he cares because he's a dog owner, but I'd love to talk a little bit more to him, and hopefully we'll have him on the show again. But I know you can't, talk much about this because it is an ongoing case right now, and it's in front of the legislation, and it's in court right now, so you can't do much. But the Humane Society is gathering more evidence to determine whether charges should be laid against the owner. And I think in cases like this, when you're cruel to animals, my punishment is just like you would do to someone who's a pedophilia or something like that. Just castrate them. That's it. That's all you got to do. Because if you're cruel to animals, if you're cruel to an innocent animal, it has no defense. This is something that absolutely has no defense.
I agree.
So that's all we could say about that. Give me some more music. Where's some music in the background, Richmond? You're my music guy, okay? I like to have music in the background. It gives me a little bit of a beat.
I could sing.
No, please.
No,
don't.
Actually, let's not do that.
I thank Deborah for bringing me the lovely, always fresh Tim Hortons coffee. Gotta say, I won a $100 gift card from Tim Hortons.
Yeah, we know.
And I know it's a beautiful gift card. Joe is filming the show for online on our YouTube listeners, and we're still waiting for some music. But
Look
we'll
at
get
that.
to
Look at
anything.
that. I will say, in regards to that news item, because it's a matter of public record, we have one of my colleagues, officer in charge of our part of the investigation, has laid a number of charges against that person. And it will be first before the courts in the coming week.
Well, you know what? You work in this stuff, and this must make you sick. And I hear about it, and I have to report it, and it makes me sick. And sick individuals, you know what? Just sick individuals. Send them back to. I'm not going to say. I don't know where these people come from. If they're Canadian citizens, if they're from other places, I could care less. But how could you grow up with such values and non-values and such horrible? Obviously, you're missing your morals to do something like this. It's. You know what? You got to look at the source here. And actually, I'll give you a little bit of a lesson later on if you remind me, Janelle, remind me later on, about the politics, about liberalism versus conservatism, and how that affects this society and how it works. And that's way over your head. But don't worry, I'll explain it to you afterwards. Animal advocate leaves $7.5 million to the University of Guelph. Now, you know what? It's going to be my pet peeve later on, but let me just tell you about this. The University of Guelph has received a $7.5 million gift from a businesswoman who died at the age of 89. You know what? I could have used the money. Mrs. Campbell, the CEO of Dover Industries, which she inherited from her father at the age of 33, was an animal advocate and arts patron. The university says her gift to the Ontario Veterinary College is the largest single donation to the institution's history.
Wow.
That's not true. I gave them $9 million last year. Not my fault the check bounced. At the point, they wrote me a nice letter saying, "Thank you, Aaron. You're amazing. It's the biggest in history." No problem. Check bounced. I ran away.
It was a nice gesture.
Yeah. Half of the money will be used to support animal welfare research, and half of the money will be used to support Canada's first animal cancer center, which is very interesting, actually. In Guelph, because as a lot of people may not know, Guelph is the hotbed where any of the cancers, for instance, if a dog has cancer or stuff like that, they usually bring them to Guelph where they...
Amazing specialist care down at Guelph. If the local veterinarian specialists in the city can't manage a medical problem, Guelph is where to go, and they do extraordinary work. I've had a tour of the facility, met some people. Can't say enough good about them.
Now let me ask you: do you ever have people coming up to you in the street?
All the time.
Well,
oh wait, there's more.
Oh yeah, there's more to that. Ever have any people coming up to you in the street asking if they can donate money to you? Because when you're driving around in a Toronto Animal
Oh, not when
Services
I'm in
car?
my own clothes.
No.
No, okay. Because that would be kind of nice. I can always use the extra cash.
Where's my music? I want more music. Sorry.
Okay, good. Where were we? Right.